Welcome in. DRF Sportsbook Daily is back after a little bit of a hiatus. Don't worry, folks. We're back after some time away. I was able to gather myself, not let my head get too big after being 52 and 41 after the first half of the MLB season. We're heading into the second half of the season. We're a few weeks late. It started around, I think, August 21st, August 20th, when games got back up again. It is now July 21st, July 20th, sometime in that range when games got going again. But we're back. August 1st, we felt it was best to get going in August. We have three fantastic games on the slate for you all today, three ways to make money. And then, of course, we finish it off with our featured free game of the day. Today, it's Boston against Houston, a fantastic showdown there happening down there in Houston. I think there's a lot of value on one of those two teams. I won't share which, but you might be able to figure it out as we go through today's slate of games. Breaking things down, we're going Mariners, Yankees. Mariners finished last time we talked. We were riding the red hot Mariners as they headed into the All-Star break. We're breaking them down as they head to the Bronx to take on the Yankees. From there, another red hot team pre-All-Star break. Orioles, they're going down to Texas to take on the Rangers. And then the last game of our three MLB best bets for today, it's Royals, White Sox, and we have a certified gold star pick in that game for you all as well. And as a friendly reminder, head on over to us on Twitter at DRF Sportsbook. We're DRF Sportsbook now everywhere on social media. Find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. DRF Sportsbook. Never miss any of our exclusive betting data, trends, line movements, or any of our awesome odds, daily odds boosts, some of our exclusive lines that we have over at ia.drf.com. If you're in Iowa, we are Iowa's local sports book. We want to be your sports book for every single Iowan. We'll be at the Iowa State Fair. Come check us out. Come say hi at the Iowa State Fair. We'll love to see you guys there. So, with all that housekeeping stuff out of the way, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Let's get into what we all came here for, what I've been dying to share with you guys for the last 2 weeks. Mariners-Yankees. It's right. I've had this game circled on my calendar, ready to go, ready to break it down. The Mariners head to the Bronx. The Yankees again blew another late inning lead. I believe this is their third since July 9th that they've blown a lead in the ninth inning. They didn't have any before July 9th, and now they've had three since then, most in the majors. And if you faded the Yankees, I bet you'd be up a little bit of money if you faded them going into the ninth. However, they still are 3-1 over their last four. They're still a really good team. They're still one of the best teams in the league. Domingo Armand gets the start tonight for New York. This is going to be his third start as he's coming back from injury, and he's facing off against Seattle's Marco Gonzalez. If you guys haven't been in the news of the MLB, the Mariners have also acquired Luis Castillo from the Reds. Big time get. They had to give up a lot to get a lot, but that should bolster their rotation as they look to make a second half push, make it into the playoffs, and make potentially a World Series run. That isn't a team that is planning for their future. That's a team that thinks they have what it takes to win now. And this is a big time test against the league's best. They're the Yankees, that is, are the third most profitable team in the MLB, behind the Orioles and behind the Mets. Over the last four for Seattle, though, they've struggled a little bit, going 1-3. And New York has beat up on the Mariners over the last couple of seasons, 11-3 straight up against the Mariners in the Bronx, 21-6 overall straight up over the last three seasons. So the Mariners have not had an opportunity to really take it to the Yankees, and I don't think that changes tonight. With Marco Gonzalez getting the start, he's 6-10 with a 3.66 ERA. However, over his last three, it's like a 5.2, 5.3, something like that, something above 5 over his last three starts. And he's facing off against Domingo Armand, who didn't have a great first start coming back from injury, kind of got lit up. He does have a really high ERA, an 8.21, but it came down drastically in his second start last time out. I think he only allowed 1 or 2 earned runs in his second start. So it looks like he's starting to get some feet under him. He's getting his sea legs back. And this third game, while I don't expect him to be lights out, he'll probably give up a few 2, 3, 4 runs. I don't think Marco Gonzalez and the Mariners can keep this potent Yankees lineup at bay because, I mean, this Yankees lineup is so deadly. They're 40-13 at home. They beat everyone up. It's got to be Yankees minus 175, and I don't really see another way around it. If you look at here, the line has moved a little bit in favor of the Mariners. The Yankees are now minus 170. Our power line likes this one at minus 139, so you're not getting a ton of value in the Yankees. You're paying a little bit of a price, but our simulator still thinks the Yankees win this one 5-4. This is also on the fact that I think Domingo Armand continues to get better as he's battling back from that injury. Keynote too, Marco Gonzalez is a left-handed pitcher. I always have to bring this up. Yankees are 23-8 this season against lefties. A really, really solid win percentage. They're plus units. The only downside is they don't hit as well at the plate. All of their major hitting statistics are down just a little bit. But with that being said, they're still 23-8. They don't have double-digit losses against left-handed pitchers. So something to keep an eye on as Marco Gonzalez gets the start for the Mariners. But the pick, regardless, Yankees minus 175. Moving from there, we're going Orioles-Rangers. Baltimore heads to Texas. Baltimore 4-3 over their last 7 as they are 500 on the year. They're going up against the Rangers, who have the opposite last 7 record. They're 3-4. Baltimore plus 145. The total is around 8, 7.5, depending on which book you are using at DRF Sportsbook. The total is 7.5 currently. Baltimore will be starting Spencer Watkins. Texas will be sending out John Gray. Baltimore's 23-18 this season as an underdog of plus 125 to plus 175. So they really thrive in this moment. Also worth noting that the Orioles are the most profitable team in the major leagues this season. Yes, they're 51-51. However, if you bet them to win every single game, they've won so much as large underdogs and as well as small favorites that you would be up the most money if you did that. Second is the Mets. Third is the Yankees, as we mentioned earlier. But Texas is 11-10 as favorites, so they do have a winning record, but nowhere near as good as Baltimore's 23-18 mark. Baltimore is profitable on the road, but not a good record, 22-31. And if we're picking the straight up winner, I'm looking more at their straight up record rather than if they're profitable or not. So Orioles struggle a bit on the road. That may have more to do with the fact that they struggled to start the season. They came on really, really hot heading into the All-Star break, and now they're 4-3 over their last 7. And they are sending out Spencer Watkins, who's 3-1 with a 4.03 ERA. And over his last 3, that ERA drops to 2.65. Lean the under in this game just slightly. It is coming down a bit. It's 8 in some books, 7.5 at other books. And it seems like the public is starting to go on the under, and try and get that at around 8 because John Gray, he is 7-5 this season. He has a 3.62 ERA, but much like Spencer Watkins, over his last 3, he's been lights out with a 1.86 ERA. So these pitchers both have been really, 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 really solid over their last 3 games. As in total season, their ERA is still good, just nowhere near as good as it's been over the last 3. And I think that continues tonight as this might become a pitcher's duel, and whoever can go deepest into the game, not get beat up too much, go through the lineup 2-3 times, that might be the one that wins. Baltimore's 3-0 against Texas this season as well. They swept the series over at Camden Yards earlier this year, but Texas is 7-6 straight up against Baltimore at home over the last 3 seasons. So give me the Rangers minus 155 in this game. It's mainly because I prefer Gray and his 1.86 ERA over Spencer Watkins as of late. I think Gray's been a little bit more lights out. Gray's been a little bit better. And coming back home, I think the Rangers are going to want to avenge that earlier season sweep as they host the Orioles. And at minus 155, you're not paying too much of a price. Our game simulator thinks it's around a 4-4 game, and our power line makes it minus 143. So pretty much right on the head with the Rangers at minus 155. And our third and final MLB best bet for today, Royals-White Sox. This is a certified gold star pick. You got to be wondering, which side is a certified gold star pick? Because I've gone on this daily live stream a few times, pounding my chest about how I'm going to fade the White Sox until Tony La Russa gets fired. These White Sox, they haven't been good this season. They were a World Series favorite preseason and early season. They got off to a bad start. They've been up and down all year. They've not been dominant. They've only swept 4 series this year. They currently are 51-50. They've been hovering around that 500 mark. This is a team that should be dominant. I mean, look at this lineup. Look at some of these pitchers. They're really, really solid. And yet, for some reason, they're 51-50. They're just minus 155, minus 160, depending on the book, against a bad Royals team. What's happening? How is this possible? And not to mention, they're 2-1 in Chicago this season. The Royals have a winning record in Chicago. They're 4-4 against each other this season. And this is a team of the White Sox, if they are who we thought they were, they should be beating up on the Royals, but instead they struggle against them. But with all that being said, I'm going White Sox minus 160, and it's the certified gold star pick, folks. For some reason, our simulators, our power lines are loving the White Sox against the Orioles tonight, against the Royals tonight. Power line makes this minus 202, which is insane to me, but I got to follow the numbers. The White Sox also, according to our game simulator, win this by 2 runs. What? Somehow, some way, KC will be sending out Brad Keller, who's 5-11 this season. This might be the reason. He's 5-11 this season with a 4.35 ERA. His record leaves a lot to be desired, but that's also because he lacks run support. The Royals only score 3.9 runs on average per game, and they allow 5.1. So mainly his ERA is 4.35. Not great, not terrible. I'd want it better out of a starter. He's going up against Michael Kopechek. I think I'm mispronouncing that name. He's 4-6 with a 3.16 ERA. Over his last 3, though, that's down to a 2.3 ERA. So Kopechek, much like Gray, much like Watkins that we talked about last game, he's been really red hot over his last 3. And I think that continues tonight against a lackluster Royals offense. In Chicago, the Royals do have the upper hand. They're 2-1 in Chicago this season against the White Sox. But I'm going Chicago minus 155, minus 160, depending on where you find it, mainly because I don't think this Royals offense is going to be able to keep pace with the White Sox offense. Keller's good, not great. Chicago is 5-3 over their last 7. They're hitting 264, which is 0.02 better than their season average. So over the last 7, their offense has been coming alive, and they get on base 42% of the time. 0.419 is their on base percentage. So this offense, I'd like to think they're starting to find their rhythm here in the second half of the season. I'm not holding my breath too much, but this is a game, if you want to make a push in the second half, you got to win. I think I would hope Tony La Russa and the White Sox know that. So give me Chicago minus 160 all day, every day. Loving the Gold Star, certified Gold Star best bet there. And if you're not already, follow us on Twitter at DRF Sportsbook. That's our handle everywhere now, at DRF Sportsbook. All one word. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, everything. We're DRF Sportsbook. You'll never miss any of our best bets, our expert insights, our betting angles, trends, some of our industry-leading data, all on drf.com/sports. We're tweeting about it. We're talking about it. Anywhere you can follow us, please do like and subscribe on YouTube. And if you're in Iowa, we're Iowa's local sportsbook, folks. We're giving you daily odds boosts focused on Iowa teams. We're giving you specials. We're giving you promos, everything revolving around Iowa sports and the teams that matter to Iowans. So check us out on the App Store, Apple App Store. We're on the Google Play Store. We also can be found on your desktop. Just type in, or on your mobile phone if you prefer that way, ia.drf.com.